Class 7, An Alien Hand, Chapter 7, Chandini. The story Chandini depicts the longing and desire for freedom. The lead character in the story is an old man whose name is Abu Khan. Abu Khan was living in a city named Almora, and he was a man who kept gods as pets. Furthermore, Abu Khan gave his gods funny names. His gods but had a longing for freedom. However, their freedom caused their death as a wolf killed them. Consequently, Abu Khan became very sad due to the death of his gods, and Abu Khan decided to bring a small goat so as to overcome his sadness. And he decided to name this god Chandini. Now let us look what happened to Chandini. Once there lived an old man in Almora, and his name was Abu Khan. He kept a few gods as pets. He would give each of them a funny name. Abu Khan was, however, a little unlucky. Very often at night, one of the goats would break the string and go up the hills. It was so because the goats loved freedom. His gods were of the best hill breeds, and the gods in hilly regions hate being tied to poles or trees. But this love for freedom cost them their lives, because they were eaten up by an old wolf who lived in the hills. One day, when all his gods had gone, when all his gods had killed, Abu Khan became very sad. He decided to have no more gods as pets. However, he changed his mind soon after because he felt so lonely without any pets. So now he bought a very young goat. He thought it would stay with him much longer, and he decided to love that goat so much that it would never go away. So he bought a pretty young goat and he named it Chandini. Chandini was a pretty little goat. She was white as snow and had two little horns on her little head and had a pair of gleaming red eyes. She was very friendly and she would listen to Abu Khan's tales with lot of interest and affection. And Abu Khan, he loved to tell Chandini or to narrate to Chandini all the stories of her friends who were dead and gone. Chandini lived with Abu Khan for several years. But when it grew up, it also felt the urge of going up the hills. She ran towards them, but the rope would stop her. So she began to hate the rope around her neck. Soon she stopped eating the grass. She became so sad and she stopped eating food. She also stopped listening to Abu Khan's stories with interest. She became very thin and unhappy. Abu Khan did not understand her problem. At last, Chandni decided to speak to him frankly. She asked him to let her go to the hills. Now Abu Khan understood Chandini's problem. He told Chandini of the danger of death if she went up. But Chandini said that she would fight the wolf with her horns. And Abu Khan told her that it was impossible for her. But Chandini still wanted to go to the hills. Abu Khan was very annoyed because of Chandini's behavior. He loved Chandini and wanted to save her life. So he shut her in a small hut. But he forgot to close the window. That very night, Chandini escaped through the window to the hills. Now, Chandini reached the hills. She enjoyed her freedom. Chandini felt that it was the happiest day of her life. She played for hours on the grassy hills. She met a herd of wild goats and they asked her to join their group. But Chandini refused because she wanted to enjoy her new freedom by herself. Now it became dark. It is night now. There was stillness all around. And in that silence, Chandini heard the voice of the wolf. She was frightened. For once she thought of going back to Abu Khan. Then she decided that she will stay there and she will fight the wolf. The wolf now stood face to face with Chandini Chandini saw that she was very small compared to the wolf. Yet she did not lose her heart. I must put up a good fight, she decided. She thought that she will fight. And she fought because she had to retain her freedom at any cost. Success or failure was a matter of luck or chance, but she needed freedom and she decided to fight against the wolf. Chandini fought very bravely. They fought each other all night, but the first ray of sun saw Chandini dead. She was lying on the ground in a pool of blood, and the wolf was getting ready to eat her. And a group of birds had watched the fight all throughout the night, and most of them thought that the wolf had won. However, a wise old bird declared that Chandini was the winner. The wise old bird said that Chandini is a winner because even being weak and small in front of the wolf, she didn't give up. She gathered all her courage and done a brave fight. She didn't leave the battlefield like a coward, and she fought for her freedom. Everyone loves their freedom. This freedom is not confined only to humans, but also applies to other creatures as well. Through this story, the author tries to tell the importance of freedom.